Good morning, everybody. So, what day is it? Hump day! Mike. So, tomorrow we start another UPW, the March UPWs, near and dear to my heart. So, starts tomorrow morning, 4 days. What do we do? Well, day number one is when we do the in-person events, a firewalk, and when we do the virtual events, we do board breaks. And it's fear into power. And so what is the whole point of day number one? Well, first of all, we start out and we talk about why people do what we do, and we cover the 6 human needs, which I know we've covered here. And if you guys want to do it again, we can certainly go over it again because it's very valuable. Then there's just a lot of stories about how people have become successful against what everybody thought, shouldn't work out, and how the same formula is used for success for everyone. And we've talked about it. Know what you want, and it's got to be specific. Take massive action. Know why you want it. Have sensory acuity. Are you getting closer to your goal or further away? And then change your approach and do that until you ultimately get what it is that you're looking for. Everybody that's been successful has used this same formula. And we talked stories about, the stories that you heard, Thomas Edison, Rocky, Walt Disney, all these people that were told again and again and again that things couldn't be done, that what you're trying to do can't happen. And then, in fact, it does. And the reason that it does is because they continued to work towards their goal. They didn't let failure be failure. It was just learning, and they continued to change their approach. And they knew why they wanted their outcome, so that gave them the fuel. The why is your fuel, and it gave them the drive to continue to work towards their outcome even when it looked like there was no chance of it ever working out. Then that evening, we give them an experience. Like I said, in the in-person events, we do a firewalk, and that's not designed to teach you new picnic skills. That's designed to say, hey, here's an experience of something that you don't think that you're going to be able to do. And we show you a process, and then you do it. And then on the other side, you're like, okay, if I can do that, what else can I do? And the board break is another great example of that. It's a metaphor. That's it. It's a metaphor of you can accomplish things that you in your head logically think, well, I can't do that because I don't know how, or it's impossible. When in fact, if you put through a little bit of effort, you can figure out how, and it is possible to get those things done. Day number 2, we figure out what it is that you really want. And we go through a great goal setting exercise. And then through the second half of the day, we go through all kinds of strategies. And we do strategies for developing rapport. We do strategies for eliciting a system of a response that you have, a formula that you might have for something that you want to repeat, a strategy for eliciting that same formula from somebody else. So we go through all these strategies. And then day number 3 is all about eliminating limiting beliefs. How do we get rid of the things that stop us? And what stops us is a belief that we can't do it, or a belief that somehow it's not possible. And what they really come down to are 2 beliefs: that I'm not good enough and I'm not going to be loved. And those are everybody's fears. And so we go through a process to get rid of those beliefs and break through so that you'll tap into your personal power. You'll tap into what, in fact, you need to do, the drive that you need in order to go after all of this. And then day number 4 is this. Day number 4 is all health and fitness. At the end of the day, if you don't have your health, all of this is just a conversation. Because a person with their health has a million dreams, a person without their health only has one. So this is, how do you have the energy that you need in order to climb that mountain of success? So that's the 4 days. You can probably still sign up, I would assume. I would imagine that they're still letting you do that. But, it's the basic fundamental seminar. When you think of any growth seminar, these are the processes that you go through. And even if the seminar is 3 hours, you're still going to go through these same areas. If you read Think and Grow Rich, it's really the same areas. Now, some stuff has been tweaked and things have been added, but that's the areas that you need to look at in order to take yourself to the next level. First you need to look at what it is, you need to get inspired. And that's really what the first day is here's all of these people that accomplish things that shouldn't have been accomplished. So what is it that you really want to do? You know, if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you try and accomplish? It's a great question. What would you try and go do if you knew you couldn't fail? Because most people have big dreams, but they fear failure, and so they don't go after them. So imagine you had the magic genie in the bottle that you found on the beach, and it said, I'll give you 3 wishes. You know, what would you wish for in terms of things that you could do in the world? Who would you go see? What would you go do? And then have an experience that shows that. But then right after you've been inspired like that, perfect time to set goals. Perfect time to do a goal-setting seminar and actually write down what is it that you want to accomplish in your life. What are the things that you want? And be specific. Not, I want to lose some weight. Not, I want to have some money. It's got to be specific. How much by when? How much weight by when? That type of thing. You got to be very specific as to what you want. That reticular activating system in your brain needs to know right where to go. And then you got to get rid of your limiting beliefs. And the great way to do that is to think about where you're going to be in 20 years if you don't do all of this stuff. How are you going to feel? What's going to happen? What are you going to look like? That's a great question to ask. Because in 20 years, we're going to arrive. And so it's a matter of how you're going to get there. And then in terms of health and fitness, get that book. It's not the only approach. There's other approaches, but take an approach. You know, the great idea about the 75 Hard is they don't tell you what eating plan to use. They just tell you that you need to do one. And that's a great approach because at least you're taking a plan that's going to take away junk and is going to hopefully work for you. And if the plan doesn't work, what do? Change your approach and go to another plan. So that's what we're going to do over the next 4 days. And maybe over the next 4 days, that's what you can take a look at. If you're at that stage where it's like, hey, maybe it's time to stop and refocus a little bit, take an inventory of where I'm at in my life and what I want to do as I move forward. Each day I'll try to give you a video. My times get a little goofy because we end up getting done so late at night, but I'll try to give you a video of what we're doing and what we're covering. If you want to hop in and join the seminar, go ahead and do that. If not, you know, there's so many videos that are out there on YouTube, but those are the steps. So maybe over the next 4 days, you take the time for yourself to evaluate your life and decide where am I at and what do I want to do with these 4 steps over the next 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 40, 80 years of my life. You're going to arrive. How do you want to arrive? And we can live the life that's designed for us as opposed to living a life where you're part of somebody else's design for theirs. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.